If it's happening in professional wrestling, we're breaking it down. The matches, the moments, the rumors, and yes, even the hot takes. This is Pro Wrestling Focus. No nonsense, no wasted motion, just pure wrestling talk. Now, here's your host, Cody Springer.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Focus. And I hope everyone's doing good, because as for me, I've been under the weather the last couple days. So if I don't sound like my normal voice, that's the reason why. But I'm here to bring you my predictions for WWE Evolution, as promised. You know, this is the next premium live event for WWE. You know, we got Saturday night's main event Saturday. And, well, you guys know I don't really consider Saturday night's main event to be a PLE, so that's why I'm not doing predictions for that. I kind of previewed it earlier in the week with my podcast on Monday. But yeah, we are going to talk about Evolution. I'm going to, break down the whole card, give my predictions for each match, and then, I will come up here with a review early on next week and, see what matches I got correct, what I got wrong, because I probably will get some matches wrong. I have not predicted a perfect PLE so far this year. I've gotten close. It's just that one match I always get wrong. But, I can't get them all right. But yeah, so we're going to talk about Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view making its return to the WWE PLE lineup. It'll be this Sunday, live on Peacock and Netflix if you're outside the United States. So, yeah, let's get into it. This is my preview and predictions for WWE Evolution. The first match here on the card I'm going to be talking about is for the NXT Women's Championship. Jacy Jayne will be defending against Jordynne Grace. And this has been one of the most debated matches on the Evolution card. And, let's be real here. This match has big implications and some seriously divided fan energy behind it. You've got Jacy Jayne, who's been riding a wave of success since snatching the title from Stephanie Vaquer, I should say, which was a surprise to a lot of people, myself included. And we've got Jordynne Grace, the former TNA Knockouts champion, who's still trying to find her footing in NXT after crossing over officially this year. But the build-up has been basically title reign versus redemption. Because Jacy Jayne, she's been running the show with her faction, Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix. They've got that Bad Girls Club energy. Like they're running the show in the NXT Women's Division. Meanwhile, Jordynne Grace has been grinding. She won the Evolution Eliminator Tournament, earning her shot, and brought in some backup in Blake Monroe to try even the odds. This has all the makings of a solid story. Power versus precision. Strategy versus strength. The arrogant champ versus the hungry challenger. The pieces are all there. The fan reaction, it's been a mixed bag with a lot of heat. Let's call it what it is. Fans are divided. Some people want Jordynne Grace to win because she's overdue. Let's not forget she came into the WWE with buzz, with accolades, with legitimacy, and then WWE had no clue what to do with her for a while. She should have been the one to dethrone Stephanie Vicaire. That made the most sense, but she wasn't. So now this is her moment to fix that. On the flip side, some fans still aren't sold on JC Jane's reign. Some are calling her a transitional champ, especially with all the fatal influence interference. Others think she's being set up for a feud with Blake Monroe, and Grace is just the detour. Then there's the Reddit crowd speculating a possible double turn where fatal influence turns on JC and they align with Monroe. Now listen, I'm not saying that's happening, but I would not be shocked because WWE likes to plant seeds before dropping the hammer. The stakes are bigger than just the NXT Women's Championship, because let's not ignore the bigger picture. If Jordynne Grace wins, she's expected to face Masha Slamovich in a winner-takes-all match at Slammiversary. NXT Women's title versus Knockouts title. That's some cross-promotional dream match stuff right there. WWE loves the idea of history, and you don't book that kind of angle unless you're serious about putting some shine on Jordynne Grace. But my take, nobody can afford to lose, but someone has to. Because let's be honest, this one's tough. I don't like what happens to either woman if they lose. If JC loses, it confirms she was just keeping the title warm. If Jordynne loses, then what the hell was the point? She came in hot and hasn't done anything huge yet. A loss here kills her momentum even more. So what do I think is going to happen? I'm going to go with Jordynne Grace. WWE has shown more interest in this cross-promotional match with Masha, and Jordynne Grace is more believable as someone who can carry a championship into that spotlight. I think Fatal Influence tries to interfere. Maybe Blake Monroe cancels that out, and then Jordynne Grace gets her moment. New champ, done deal. So my prediction is that Jordynne Grace wins and becomes the new NXT Women's Champion. Let's just hope that WWE doesn't get cold feet and turn this into a 12-minute match with a DQ finish, because this match deserves a definitive ending. All right, up next is the Evolution Battle Royal, which will feature women from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. But yeah, this thing is wide open. So here's what we know. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis announced it is a high-stakes match, with the winner getting a Women's Championship opportunity at Clash in Paris. We got women from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, maybe even some legends, maybe a few surprise returns. You never know with WWE. The field is deep and messy in the best way possible. Let's break down the entrants. You have the six-pack from NXT. NXT General Manager Ava dropped 6 names from her brand. Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, Izzy Dame, and Tatum Paxley. That's a nice showcase of rising talent. And don't sleep on Jada Parker, by the way. She's got breakout energy. And then from the main roster, you got Ivy Nile, Stephanie Vicaire, Nia Jax, Natalia, Maxine Dupree, Zelina Vega, and the United States Champion, Julia. But the headline here is Nikki Bella. As you guys know, she's back, and with Liv Morgan out injured, Nikki has pivoted from a potential match with Liv to being in this battle royal, talking about one last run for her son. And yeah, we could see some legends, Michelle McCool, Lita, maybe Kelly Kelly. But let me say this now, AJ Lee or Paige showing up, don't hold your breath. Would it be dope? Hell yes. But likely, nope. But the build has issues. I mean, let's keep it 100. This thing feels thrown together last minute. The Evolution Summit segment helped, but it was basically a brawl with promos stapled to it. but there's still a lot to like. I mean, despite the issues, fans are still excited to see the women, have this platform again. And this match right here is a good way to build a new star or give a legend one more run. It's got the potential to deliver a viral moment, a breakout performance, or a surprise twist. So even with a weak build, there's some real buzz around this. Now for predictions. Stephanie Becker is the betting favorite. She's on a roll. WWE's clearly high on her. She's legit in the ring. And if she wins, she can use this thing to start building momentum. Nikki Bella, though, she's the storyline pick. She's been cutting final run promo material stuff, talking about doing it for her kid, and WWE loves that kind of stuff. It writes itself. Win here, challenge a top star in Paris, you've got yourself a marquee story. If we're talking pure booking logic, Vicaire makes sense. But if we're talking WWE storytelling, I'm picking Nikki Bella. Let her get that one last big spotlight, set up a championship match in Paris, and possibly pass the torch on the way out. Whether you love her or hate her, the crowd's going to react. And that's what you want in a Battle Royal winner. So my final prediction is that Nikki Bella wins the Evolution Battle Royal and heads to Clash in Paris for one last ride. All right, let's talk about one of the more chaotic and, let's be honest, underbaked matches on the Evolution card, and that's the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. This one got messy right out of the gate thanks to a real-life injury to Liv Morgan. With Liv on the shelf, Judgment Day lobbied to keep the gold in the faction, and Raw General Manager Adam Pearce made the call. Fine, Roxanne Perez steps in to replace Liv alongside Raquel Rodriguez, but they have to defend the belts in a Fatal 4-Way. Raw, SmackDown, and NXT all sending a team. So here's our lineup. We have Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the defending champs, sort of. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, the odd couple tag team from SmackDown. The Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, reuniting on Raw. Sol Ruka and Zarya, the hottest duo repping NXT. Now look, the match will likely deliver in the ring, but this build was hot garbage. I said what I said. The whole Liv injury thing dragged out. We all knew they were going to slide Roxanne in there as her replacement, and yet they dragged their feet like we were supposed to be surprised. The fan reaction's been mixed at best. A lot of fans are hyped about the Kabuki Warriors getting back together, and rightfully so. Asuka and Kairi Sane were a dominant tag team, and their chemistry is still off the charts. But let's not pretend that WWE hasn't historically forgotten they even have women's tag team titles when it suits them. Charlotte and Alexa, while they've had decent chemistry, it still feels like this is a happening because we need names type of situation. Sol Ruka and Zarya, look, I don't expect them to win, but I do hope they show out. They're young, they're hungry, and getting them this kind of exposure is huge for their futures. So who's going to win? Let's talk predictions. The betting odds and online chatter say Alexa and Charlotte are the heavy favorites. And if WWE wants to pump some star power into the tag division, that's the easy and lazy call. But I'm saying this right now. If WWE takes the titles off of Raquel and Roxanne this early, I am going off. We just got this team, and Roxanne just stepped into the spot, and if they drop the belts already, what was the point? It'll bury Roxanne even further after how shaky her singles run was, or has been lately. The smarter move would let her and Raquel hold the belts for a while, build some chemistry, and then when Liv is ready to come back, you've got a real storyline waiting. So the final prediction, Raquel and Roxanne retain. It's the only call that makes any damn sense at all. And if they lose, you'll hear me snapping on the Evolution review episode. Let Alexa and Charlotte go chase the titles later. Let the Kabuki Warriors keep doing whatever mysterious poetic shit that they do. And let Sol and Zarya look strong in defeat. But Roxanne and Raquel need to walk out of Evolution as champions, or we've got a serious creative problem on our hands. All right, up next, it's no holds barred. Naomi versus Jade Cargill. And this thing has been months in the making. And now we're heading into a violent, no rules showdown. The build has some real heat and real stakes. You know, this ain't some random booking type of match. This has history behind it. Rewind back to November of 2024. Last year, Jade got jumped backstage. Nobody knew who did it. WWE kept it quiet. Fast forward to Elimination Chamber. Jade returns and costs Naomi the match. Then boom, Naomi admits that she was the one who attacked Jade all those months ago. Heel turn, locked in. We haven't seen Naomi this vicious, and honestly, it's been refreshing. She's got that chip on her shoulder again, not the feel the glow kind. She's been laser focused, brutal, and flat out dangerous. And Jade beat Naomi at WrestleMania. Naomi returned the favor by costing her matches, including Money in the Bank qualifiers. Then Naomi wins Money in the Bank, and now both of them are sitting on golden tickets to the top of the division. Jade is the Queen of the Ring. Her title match for SummerSlam is locked in. Naomi is the Money in the Bank contract holder. She gets a title shot anytime she wants. They're basically at a collision course with each other and the championship scene. In this match at Evolution, it's the reset button. It's who walks out with real momentum. It's no holds barred, and it better get ugly. Weapons, chairs, announce tables. I want these two to hurt each other. WrestleMania didn't deliver the way it should have. This is their chance to run it back and get it right. But the fan reactions, there's buzz, but with some doubt. Let's be real, the hype is there. This feud has been one of the better built women's stories all year. Fans are loving Naomi's heel turn. She's finally showing edge. People want to see Jade step up and prove that she's not just the look, but the total package. The stipulation fits the vibe. This feud got violent for a reason. But there's doubt too. Jade's performance at Night of Champions left a lot of people wondering if she's ready for big stage matches. Some still think that Naomi should have been the one getting the big push instead. So yeah, emotions are high heading into this one. But the prediction is that Jade Cargill wins, but she better deliver. Let me be clear, Jade has to win this. You don't have her win Queen of the Ring and book her for a SummerSlam title shot just to have her take a loss here. But it's not just about the win, it's about the performance. This match needs to be physical, intense. I want to see tables broken, chairs bent, bodies flying. If Jade's going to be that girl heading into SummerSlam, then she needs to bring the violence. Leave it all in the ring. And Naomi, she's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, so even in a loss, she's still sitting pretty. Final take here, expect a war, expect some chaos. And I'm calling it now. Jade wins and gets her mojo back, but if she drops the ball again like she did at Night at Champions, WWE is going to have a real problem on their hands heading into SummerSlam. Let's talk about what WWE's marketing as a dream match and what I'm calling a generational clash with a little sparkle, sass, and legacy heat. Trish Stratus versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. This wasn't some slow-burning, months-long feud. This was dropped on us like a glitter bomb on the July 4th SmackDown. Tiffany's in the ring. She's going back and forth with Jade Cargill, in anticipation for their SummerSlam match. And then Tiffany announces that Trish Stratus is who she picked to face at Evolution. And just like that, we've got this wild intergenerational showdown. However, this is more than just a match. It's a sexy legacy transfer. And let's not sugarcoat this. This isn't just a passing of the torch. This is a sex symbol passing of the torch. Trish was that woman in the attitude and ruthless aggression eras. The blonde bombshell. The one who combined glamour with grit in a way that no one had been done before. Tiffany Stratton is that woman now. She's not just a star. She's the Barbie core badass that the camera loves, the brand loves, and the audience is slowly buying into whether they like it or not. This is Stratus to Stratton. Not just in title opportunity, but in presentation, persona, and positioning. Trish made it cool to be hot and dangerous. Tiffany's carrying that exact energy for this generation. But if this match delivers, we're watching that torch get passed in real time. The fan response is mixed, but intrigued. Some fans are all in. They love that nostalgia. Love seeing Trish lace up the boots again, and they see Tiffany as a legit rising star. Others are annoyed. That segment on SmackDown was basic. The promo work, mid. No emotional investment, no deep story, just vibes. But make no mistake, this match has value. It's a rare crossover moment. Its legacy meets potential. The prediction is that Tiffany wins, Trish elevates. The odds are clear. Tiffany Stratton is retaining. This isn't Trish's time. This is Trish's role. She's like that last video game boss you have to beat before moving up to the elite tier. But Tiffany Stratton must win here. It has to happen, because if WWE is serious about making Tiffany the face of this division, this is the moment. This is where she takes the image. The final word is that Trish walked so Tiffany could strut. This isn't just about gold. It's about iconography. The era of Trish Stratus lit the fire. Now it's Tiffany Stratton's job to carry the flame and burn the house down. And Evolution might just be the night where we see the most glamorous torch pass in the history of the WWE. Let's not even play around with this one. The triple threat for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship might just end up stealing the entire show. You've got Becky Lynch, the current champ, defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And this isn't some thrown together filler match. This has been 3 months of pure, layered storytelling, and it's about to pay off. Now let's rewind it back. WrestleMania 41, Becky Lynch returns out of nowhere and tags with Lyra to win the women's tag titles. That was wild enough. But then the truth hits. Becky intentionally injured Bayley to get that spot. Heel turn sealed. The very next night, they drop the titles, and Becky snaps on Lyra. Cue betrayal, cue beef, cue this slow burn story that had everything. Betrayal, redemption, revenge, and now gold. At Backlash, Lyra retained her Intercontinental title over Becky, and at Money in the Bank, Becky snatched it away from her. Bayley returned, pissed off and looking for blood, claiming her spot was stolen and her moment hijacked. And now we've got 3 women, all with claims, all with receipts, and 1 title on the line. And the fans, they're saying that this one's got juice. Say what you want about the Evolution card, but this is the match with the most emotional weight. Fans are into it. They've been writing this story since WrestleMania, and now this has been this feels like main event level heat. Becky's heel run is clicking more than people want to admit. The way she's been manipulating and stirring the pot, that's prime Becky Lynch. Bayley is finally feeling like Bayley again. Not damage control Bayley, not lost in the shuffle Bayley, but fired up and cut a promo and leave a scar Bayley. Lyra Valkyria is holding her own with 2 generational names and earning her stripes every week. She's not just surviving out there, she's thriving. So who's winning? Let's break it down. Becky Lynch, she is the odds-on favorite to retain. Triple threats always give the champ an advantage, and Becky's the kind of heel who slips in the back door and takes the win while the challengers kill each other. This could be her story to carry into SummerSlam. Bayley, she's the wild card. If WWE wants to pay off this fire she's been burning, they could pull the trigger, but it feels like her moment might come after Evolution, not at it. And then Lyra Valkyria, if she wins, it's a full-on elevation moment. But even if she doesn't, just being in this match, throwing hands with 2 future Hall of Famers, and looking legit, that's a win in and itself. My prediction, Becky retains, but this is not over. This feud feels like a SummerSlam match is coming. Maybe even a one-on-one, maybe it's Becky versus Bayley, maybe it's Becky versus Lyra in a rubber match, but the heat's too good to snuff out here. And let me say this is what the Women's Intercontinental Championship needed. Stakes, stories, and stars. Whether you love or hate Becky holding that belt, she's elevating it. And this story feels like a real deal women's program. So yeah, let Evolution have its legends, its battle royals, its dream matches, but this is the match I'm watching the closest. All right, now let's talk about the real main event of Evolution. Iyo Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. If this ain't closing the show, then we've got problems. This match has history, heat, and stakes. And it's not just a title match, it's a damn legacy match. This one runs deep. This goes all the way back to NXT. Rhea, dominant in her own right, but here's the catch. She's never beaten Iyo Sky one-on-one. Not in NXT, not on the main roster, not ever. Fast forward to the road to WrestleMania 41, Iyo dethrones Rhea and walks into Mania as the champion. At Mania, triple threat. Iyo retains, but she pins Bianca and not Rhea. So that just leaves Rhea even more obsessed. Still no clean win over Iyo. Still unfinished business. So what does Iyo do when given the chance to choose her Evolution opponent? She picks Rhea Ripley. Because she's that kind of champion. Bold as hell, and maybe a little too confident. But that's the kind of match this is. A chapter closer. A final showdown. No excuses. No triple threats. No distractions. Just Rhea versus Iyo. One-on-one. Now let's be real. The fan reaction has been a little divided. Not about the match quality. No one's questioning that. These two are top-tier athletes. They're going to deliver in the ring, period. But the build, kind of underwhelming. Not going to lie. There hasn't been enough face-to-face heat. Barely any spotlight on the go-home show. For a rivalry with this much history, the hype level should be off the charts. Instead, it's been kind of quiet. Still, the buzz is there because of the names involved. People know what these two can do. Fans are expecting a banger, a 30-minute war, maybe even longer. But here's what I want. Let them breathe. Let them go 30 to 45 minutes. Build this match slow, methodical, personal. You've got Rhea, the powerhouse. You've got Iyo, the aerial assassin. Let that contrast tell the story. Let the psychology play out. And when they turn it up in that final stretch, I want to feel every damn near fall. If done right, this could be a classic, like Trish and Lita, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, all of that. Here's where I stand as far as the prediction. Iyo Sky has been a fantastic champion, but she's already checked off her WrestleMania moment. She's proven that she can hang on top, but now it's time for Rhea Ripley to get her redemption. She's the most protected woman in the company. She's white hot with the crowd, and she's coming into this match with a chip on her shoulder and something to prove. She needs this win more than Iyo does, because it's not just about the title. It's about finally conquering the one person she never could. Rhea Ripley wins at Evolution, finally beats Iyo Sky, finally silences the doubters, and walks into SummerSlam with that title around her waist as the real top dog in the women's division. But yeah, this is it. This is the match that needs to headline. Let these women tear the house down. Let them write the final chapter. And let Rhea Ripley stand tall, because the Eradicator is back and she's coming for everything. All right, guys, that will conclude my predictions and preview for WWE Evolution this coming Sunday, live on Peacock and on Netflix if you live outside the United States. Yeah, this should be a pretty interesting show. And like I said, I'll be back next week, early in the week. Try to be. Hopefully, I will be better. I won't, sound the way I do right now. I do apologize for that. But hopefully I'll be 100% better coming into next week, and I'll be recapping all the madness and the fallout from Evolution and Saturday night's main event as well. And yeah, just stay tuned. Subscribe if you're new to Pro Wrestling Focus. Follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and enjoy wrestling and stay focused.